The bracket round 2, the next chapter in the tale of these two teams will be written. Now this is a really tough matchup for Infused, let's face it, but again, depends on which kind of Luminosity shows up. If it's group stage Luminosity, then this could be kind of interesting, but if it's not, this could be one of the most swift and brutal 3-0s you will likely see this week. Either way, we're off to a blinding start for Luminosity. 3 kills across the board for the team, they won the opening engagement, they're getting that hard point time. Things are still looking good. Classic with 2. Saints picking up the kills as well. We finally have Infused on the point, but for how long? Because here come Luminosity.
Well, Luminosity, of course, though, when you talk about them in hardpoint, it's one of those things. When you mentioned that they're 4 of the most talented players in the world on the same team, Zerg just got a 3-piece, by the way. How many people actually, this is a worthwhile question, how many people do you think can say that they've gotten a 3-piece on the members of LG? In the world, maybe like 4,
maybe 4
5.
Players. Maybe. I mean, you got like someone from United, maybe somebody from Optic, probably Formal or Karma, to be honest. And now you can put Zerg into that bench. I mean, that's a sweet round table. I don't mind sitting there talking about how tasty that 3-piece was. Here we go. Though, still Luminosity with a slight lead at the moment, but at the stage we're at, it's still any man's game. 3 dead now for Infused, as Luminosity now looking to get on the board a little bit more. 6-2 currently for Classic. He's having a great run of things so far. And of course, coming up the rear there is Slacked as well, going 4-2. Streaks, as far as kill streaks go, 4 in a row for Classic, 2 in a row for Slacked. So again, the boys in Infused really just being outpaced right now. See if they can't find themselves here. That was 2 in a row for Alex as he makes his way through. This is the push in the barn, 2 doors at once. That's a nice breach and clear. Lovely work from Zerg again with 2. And that is going to be Infused retaken quite effectively. However, 15 seconds remaining on this hard point. They're going to have to get ready for the next rotation. And Luminosity still looking very strong and in the lead.
Well, there's a player from out front from LG that looked like he might want to solo push that hill. That's not going to be the case, but it does appear Infused. They're going to be quite a bit slow on this rotation. Nolson's going to be the first player towards the hard point, but he's just now gotten to Lemon. So LG, they're going to get a fair bit of uncontested time. And you see the players trying to sneak through mid-map. Well, Classic already had that covered. Of course, though, the players are going to get killed out of the hill. Once again by Zerg. It seems like every time the guy gets 1 kill, he gets at least 1 more. And again, Alex, the same thing. Just happened on Barn, picks up 2 over here. And, well, Infused, that's going to be a pretty solid break. Now some damage coming over on the back line. At the very least, the information the team, they're both going to be at bust. Pre-aim that, kill them all, and Zerg does just that.
Wow, Zerg almost managed to get Classic there with a hip fire. It's interesting to know Infused as a European team. Whoa, that was an interesting teammate, I believe. Taking the back there, but Slack still living a carry on there. Sorry, go back to my point. It was Infused. They really showed up against FaZe. They kept it together in the hard point. Things didn't go so great in the S&D, and the uplink was very, very closely contested indeed. But at the same time, it's difficult to get past the fact that, in my books at least, Luminosity are a cut above the current FaZe lineup. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing a lot more dominance out of Luminosity, but props again to Infused. They're keeping it together. Big kills from Nile there, keeping it all even Steven so far, as we may be seeing Infused finally taking the lead here. This is Alex sitting there watching back concession stand. That food court is going to be a storm of grenades. I almost said something real naughty there, but it's going to be a storm of grenades in a moment as the players pushing their way through. But again, Zerg and the kill feed there, getting 2. 14 and 11 right now for him. Nolson on a 3 streak right now, but Octane, the man in the video we saw, had a thing or two to say about that. He's pushed through. He got dropped. 30 seconds remaining. Infused now finally taking the lead. This is exciting stuff already, Chance.
Well, a lot of kills going down. LG, the pressure they're putting on the hill is actually a little bit profound, because you saw earlier, I think it was Alex we were watching in the back line. He was kind of scared to get in the hill, and he kind of gave up a free like 10 seconds that his team could have gotten. But again, a little bit slow to recognize where the pressure was going to be coming from. And now LG, they just keep pouring bodies in the hill. So that was a situation where Infused essentially had control of baseball the entire time, but even still didn't really get that much out of it.
Yeah, most of that went down to Zerg. Picked up 3 kills in a row there. He's managed to net himself an FTL, and he has got a Scarab in his back pocket as well. Will be picked off there comfortably by Slacked. He's going to end that spree, but still a lot of work there from the young man in red. And now we're seeing Slacked and the boys of LG looking to get back into this one. Still a close game at this stage. First set of rotations. Back to the train platform, and it hasn't been too huge so far. That is Luminosity finally getting back into the lead as Infused found themselves towards the latter part of this first rotation. Classic. Big kill there on Alex. Even while weak. Huge kill there from the Erad. Eradicated him. Slacked also doing work, but is going to be bested there by Zerg. 2 members now of Infused pushing their way through. Lovely kill again. Zerg just gunning fools right now. Luminosity can't be too far ahead at this stage. Just seeing Infused working their way back into this one slowly.
Yeah, I mean, Zerg's feeling himself right now, 20 and 15. That does not go understated. The fact that he has more kills as many as engagements as Alex has in total. So obviously he's doing pretty well, but definitely is going to need a little bit more teammate support because LG, a bit of a slow start now. You see Slack, well, he's at 7-13, but you got to expect that's not going to last very long. And of course, LG in control of Barn for the moment now. Last time around, Infused, they were able to break through. This time they're letting a Scarab lead the charge, but it's all about that follow-up, and Slack still over top is going to be, well, decent timing it seems, but all three players are going to trickle in. Coming on the back line, not able to finish up any of those kills. Now players for LG on the attack, though, but you got to win the gunfights, and Octane's actually going to pick up 3. One was a team kill, but here we go. It's Alex in the hill, and again, Infused, that are able to break through on Barn.
Wow, they managed to win there. Come out on top of what it was a very, very difficult and ballsy attack there from the boys on LG. Lovely positioning from Nolson here, and that is a very clean team kill. All of Luminosity even then dropped as Infused pick up a little bit more time and edge that lead forward. 15 seconds left on the Barn, and it has been very much an Infused affair as they've captured as much time as they could out of that one. And here we go for the next set of rotations. Slack in position, watching over Lemon. Nolson is about to run into the gun of Slack. Can he make his way through that one without too much trouble? Alex now on the pinch from behind. Beautiful work there from Octane. Left, right, up and down, all over the skies. He takes care of him. The bike path now is going to be the hard point, and this is Nolson trying to make a play.
Well, Nolson able to contest. A lot of times you will see players kind of call out that Scarab when they're in contest spot, although that is going to be a disruptive jammer in LG. They're going to try and take advantage. Alex, though, he is able to pick up 2, but trades come in, and LG, again, in full control. It's one of those things, Infused twice in a row now. They've been pretty slow on the rotation over to this hill, and LG trying to make slight work of it. Of course, though, it's always going to be contest heavy, and it's not going to be easy to pull off. Of course, though, you see right now the spawn's kind of leaning towards Infused. You see holding over by Bus. Of course, though, they're not getting kill time, so with every positive, there is a negative.
Oh, there we go. 2 players from Infused made their way through. They got the kills there, and now finally back into the contest. Luminosity trying to get back into this one. Final 10 seconds of bike path. We should be seeing a couple of kills, pushing those players out. Nolson shots out across map on Slack. Can't find him, though. Tiny little bit of health left. Oh, Slack, they didn't take care of him. He's taking care of Alex now, and this is Octane making his way through back of bowling. He wants to take care of these spawns, and if he can push those members of Infused out, it will put he and his team in a wonderful position to pinch there on top of the next hard point, and that is how you do it. 1 kill on Alex. Classic has got Zerg as well, so the gunfights are going well for the boys on Luminosity, but that FTL play is now going to be shut down. Nolson sitting there high and pretty at the back. Slack gets that opening kill, and as we can see, the battle for the hard point still raging on. Infused still maintaining this lead, though.
Yeah, but Infused is also playing kind of slow, but if they get the kills, the speed doesn't really matter, but they got to get inside the hard point as well. But there you go. Octane and Slack are both going to fall. I thought they were a little bit too slow paced, but maybe the over-aggression from LG cost them in the gunfights. Either way, Infused in the hill. They're holding on strong so far. Niall's going to have 1 to deal with, but he has teammate support as well, and it looks like he was feeling it. Players actually going to be coming up behind him, but might be able to get that call out or just the kills, and it's going to work out. Infused having a again, it's a situation where on baseball, they get their early spawns and don't do amazing on it, but still chip away.
Oh, Slacked, you filthy man, 2 there on Alex and Zerg. Man, that shouldn't have happened. That should not have happened. Zerg going 28 and 22. Classic, 25 and 19. He's doing a ton of work, and you can see Camo at the ready for him. Beautiful pre-aim there is going to rip Alex a new one. And we go pushing on through, trying to find a couple more kills out of this one. Man, Classic just seems to have, he can take like 2 or 3 shots without hitting his health whatsoever. Like, he seems to have this air invulnerability right now where he gets away with pushing himself into situations where the members of Infused are already watching and somehow come out on top of these gunfights. I don't know what's going on there. But still, Train Platform is up next, and here we have the boys of Infused trying to make their way onto that one. Still currently in the lead, 184 to 154. Luminosity, very uncharacteristic to see them taking a hit here from the boys of Infused.
Yeah, Infused are really bringing it to him. And again, Zerg right now leading the lobby and slaying. And of course, you got to think about the payloads as well. Niall's got that active camo. Of course, Classic and Saints have their payloads as well. But it's a situation now. Do you use them on Barn? Do you try and save them for baseball? And again, these are situations that can cost you or hurt you, 30 points if you don't use them properly. So again, it all comes down to the intelligence of the use of the payloads. Either way, though, Luminosity, again, they're in control of Barn early, but we've seen it twice now. Infused have done a very good job on breaking through. Now they've even got camo to the name, but they might not need it. Picks up the kills and just takes a nice stroll inside. Got a little bit of pressure from the side, and there you see the reactive gets popped. And again, we talked about payloads. Might be a lot of points on board. That could easily buy his team a solid 20.
Bought his team a solid 20, and that is a fully streaked out Slacked. 7 in a row for Saints right now. Was it Saints? It was Saints, my bad. Begins with S. It's been a long day, but champs, it is so sweet But not as sweet as the fact that Luminosity have just taken the lead, and it was all off the back of that reactive armor play. Slack still keeping the run going. Saints 27 and 22. 8 in a row. He cannot be stopped right now. And that Centurion gone down in Barn has provided them with a nice layer of defense.
Yeah, and then again, that use, well, now it's when Infused use their payloads, even if they break through on either one of these hills. Well, Saints, he has streaks, and streaks are just as, if not more powerful, at least in the hardpoint game mode. So, again, if you use those earlier for Infused, maybe you're able to shut down Saints. These situations are always so high pressure. The smallest mistakes can just cascade into a bitter defeat, but Octane can also just cascade things himself. He's on a 5 streak. He was able to pick up 3. Now Niles got camo, and he's got to be desperate out when to use it because the streaks are coming in. Saints, well, he's got to shut somebody down. It might as well be your teammate that was getting close to earning streaks as well.
Here we go. Almost at 230 now. Luminosity can potentially win it here. They need to get out almost every single second with very little display from Infused at this stage to get in there and slow them down. And again, 240 almost, and this could be it. That's 3 in a row for Luminosity. The final 10 points remaining, and Octane hunting down these members of Infused. My goodness, the skill out of this world. He pushed them all the way to the brink, and he's continuing the run. He's going to finish this game up with a monstrous set of kills, and that is going to be your first map to Luminosity. Not a tremendous surprise chance, but Infused can't rule them out. They brought it to them, and as soon as the band, as soon as the Luminosity train left the station, though, there was no looking back, and they simply couldn't be stopped.
Yeah, and I mean, the train leaving the station is actually a pretty apt description as well, because it seemed like Infused, they were in control the entire time. They took the foot off the gas for just a moment on the Barn Hill. LG, they popped the payloads first, and then they got streaks out of it. Score streaks as well as streaks for players themselves, and of course, they did not look back in the slightest. This is something ALG had a problem with. They had the payloads on a hill where they can just end the game now, where they can keep that lead. They try and save them for a better situation, and then they end up losing the map. So again, you don't always have to wait for that perfect moment. You're not always going to be Karma in a 1 versus 3 with camo. Sometimes you just have to use it just to pick up that one important kill. Again, though, if you don't, you can lose that game and find yourselves down 1 map to none.
Yeah, there's enough to be said about, sometimes it's worth popping that camo, and you're going to get it back eventually. If you have a hot hand enough, you can still work your way through, maybe even get another one before the end of the match if you're that good, that crazy. But still, that's map number 1 done and dusted. Map number 2 is going to be an S&D, but we're going to take a small intermission to check out the lower bracket, because let's face it, there's a whole lot of tournament going on right now. We do have Ghost Gaming up against Rise Nation. I think that is happening on stage, or it has already happened.
Well, Ghost Gaming just played E6 on Alpha. I think that was the match.
Oh, that's it. It was E6. It was 3-1. Oh, E6. They did. That is going to be the end of their run in the competition so far. Rise Nation took down Allegiance, for those of you who caught that, over on Alpha. And now Infused versus Luminosity currently sitting at 1-0, and Splice versus Epsilon. We will be seeing 2 more European teams bite the dust here in the lower bracket, and only 1 can remain.
And that's interesting as well, because LG might very well turn into kind of the European killers, because Infused, Splice, and Epsilon, well, Splice and Epsilon, they got to take each other out, so that's a bit of the juggernaut matchup. And then LG, if they win this series, which of course a very long way to go, you're going to take down at least one of you team with them. Of course, though, you got to win the matches in front of you. And, of course, moving into Search and Destroy, that is where Infused has their best opportunity. If you lose the hard point to LG, no harm, no foul. Best hard point team in the world, especially when they're at their best, so not much you can do. Again, I think they kind of threw that one away. They certainly had the potential to make that a little bit closer. But either way, that's the expectation going in, that you're going to have a little bit of those struggles. Despite that, I thought Zerg played incredibly well, at least towards the beginning. Every time he got 1 kill, it seemed like he was getting 2, if not that 3rd as well. Of course, though, wasn't enough in the end.
Same can be said for Alex as well. Still exciting things. They came in 2s and 3s at a time. And one thing, going back to Luminosity Gaming, yeah, they certainly are the EU killers. Already taken down Fnatic. They will potentially be taking down Infused here. And then after this, if they can go up against Epsilon or Splice, they could get a 3-peat in European scalps. That would be something to take home, let alone that prize money and the prestige of possibly making it all the way to the lower bracket final, and who knows else from there. Still, that was the hard point in the books. S&D getting ready to roll now. You see both teams prepping, gearing up for this next one. I believe it's Alex on the far left-hand side actually had something wrong with his headset, or at least his head or his ear at that moment. I think that's Alex. I'm not 100% certain, but still, having a little fiddle around. Fist bumps all round for everyone on the stage. Gearing up for this next one, dudes. What do you think? Search and Destroy. Infused have got a nice track record there, and if I'm completely honest, I don't think LG are that good at Search, and I know Reddit agrees.
Well, yeah, so LG, their story of Search and Destroy really spans this entire year. When they started out, they were just atrocious. They were struggling to win just even one map. Like at tournaments, they'd go 1-6. And when that happened, they found themselves as like, you know, one of the top 6 teams in the world. There was really 2 events where they kind of completely flip-flopped their Search and Destroy, turned it around, and well, that's when they were the best. That's when they won Anaheim, and that's when they ended up falling short to Splice and got second back at, I believe, those Stage 1 playoffs. So when their Search and Destroy is on form, they're great. But again, I keep bringing this up. Their strategy is essentially, let's group up together, let's fly at the opponent and win the gunfights, which when it works, it's great. But that's more of team deathmatch. And, well, we're going to get an example of it here. Luminosity is grouped up. They're going to try and win these gunfights. And, well, Octane, he's going to be able to do just that, taking down Zerg as well with him. Very nice start for LG.
There you go. That's how they're starting it off, and if it's working, why the hell not? And so far, so good. If they can trade them out, they can win the round. It's 2 dead for Infused, so the plan seems to be working. It's a war of attrition for Luminosity. Throw as many guns as you can at the enemy and hope to clog up the barrels, and that is going to be a major drop over there on an Olsen. And again, brute force finding its way into the first round there of Luminosity again. Infused didn't really have an answer for such aggressive play. There's not a whole lot you can do against such reckless hate like that. I mean, even just watching Slack's perspective there, there's very little disregard for his teammates there. He's kind of just firing at everything he can. It's danger close, you know, in every sense of the word. Still, if it works, it works.
Well, got to see how Infused is able to bounce back, of course. Again, can't afford to give up the first bloods. Not against a team like LG. It is going to make your life very, very difficult. Either way, though, Infused going for a bit of a spread. They're going to send 2 players down the wall run. The other player is going to meet him on the inside. Niall's going to get the first blood. Nolsons comes around the back. Now that player's stuck out by loading. This could be an easy bomb down. Zerg, though, well, he gets 1, but he's going to kill his teammate. Should be easy kills here on Octane trying to escape with his life. Well, he's able to do just that, but this could be bombed down for free, or they could go try and hunt Octane down.
I think they may be chasing him with the intent to potentially put it down at B, but we'll see how we go. Octane now answering back, man. When Octane was flying out, he got so many shots. I think it was on Zerg sitting there at loading bay. He almost killed him and made it a 1v1. Still Octane now locked and loaded. He's got everything he needs to get into this fight, and it may well work for him. Now the bomb's going to go down. Which side of the site are they on? And it looks like he got round. Did he see that player?
He didn't see him at all.
He didn't see him at all. So the bomb's going to go down. Or is it? They're waiting for something. There we are, waiting for the perfect moment for the bomb to drop. And this is Octane now on retake, playing on his lonesome. Zerg and Alex on defense. Can Luminosity go up another round? Here comes the engagement. He's found both! And they found him just a little bit too quick. Infused prevail and tie things up.
Yeah, and again, that's a situation where inside the bomb site, there's a little bit of chaos, and Luminosity just didn't have everything covered. Again, they do a good job of sticking together, but their search and destroy prowess a lot of times is completely lackluster. You see, 1 player is able to distract. It was the player coming in from showers with the bomb, picks up 1 kill, everybody instant, just tunnel vision on him. And then, of course, there's 2 players that were coming in on the wall run. No one was watching that at all, and it just became easy cleanup kills. Of course, the Octane potential clutch factor is certainly there, but still, when you're in difficult situations, it doesn't really matter how good you are as long as the other team doesn't throw it away. Still, though, on offense, LG completely cleared out A. There's going to be a bomb plant for free. We're going to see how Infused decides to attempt the retake.
Oh, they might be attempting to do the retake in a very aggressive way to start things off. Alex now making his way over. That's a nade out. All of his utility now spent. He's going to try to push through this door without anything to bank off the wall. No one on the shower, no one on the site, but as soon as they hear some noise, there they are. Octane got a kill on Niall on the outside. He's sitting there back at the commissary, overwatching it from long range, so they won't be able to hit the wall run. They won't be able to go outside. And they need to watch this play very, very carefully. There's an engagement happening in middle as well. That's classic now, going up against a few members of Infused. Alex needs to play this very carefully. So far, so good. He's got to take care of the player down range as Octane. He gets shots out. This is wonderful work from Alex, going up against 3v1. Oh, and what timing! They pushed round. Octane, though, left on his own. Can he win the fight at long range? The defuse has happened in and amongst all of that chaos. And Infused playing the numbers.
Yeah, and that's the most predictable play you're ever going to see inside showers. It happens all the time. LG, they just 3-man hit commissary. They leave 1 player there, but frankly, Infused could have hopped that bomb much, much sooner. As long as the player just looks over top and protects that 1 door, it's easy peasy. And again, that's situational for LG. Yes, they're picking up kills to a degree. They're able to get the bomb down, but after that, there's always the struggle. So, I mean, it's just a tough situation that they kind of end up putting themselves in. and they just need to kind of reorganize themselves in search, put a little bit of more thought into it, and they could have a lot more success. Of course, though, still a very long way to go. LG has certainly bounced back before, and they certainly could do so once again. Of course, though, that doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. That is an absolute wipe. Players hitting from every single door. Octane exactly where he was the last time around, and Octane needs to go take a dive off the map.
I believe now Zerg not only does he have his payload, but yeah, streaks as well. He doesn't want to die here. This would be a disaster for them. He's 75 away. Nolson, move, boy! Oh, wow! Octane! He got the kill on Zerg as well. They can't be happy with that. He managed to get that one. Of all the players to catch, 75 away from being fully streaked out. Oh, man. That's so annoying. He doesn't even know that. Well, he might have an idea that he was close to streaks, but he doesn't know how just annoying that really was. Still, Trinity Rocket in the back for Zerg. Ah, man. What are you going to do? Camo almost at the ready for Octane there as well, so that's going to be very handy in the upcoming rounds.
I mean, that's actually hilarious. Like, you never expect Octane to do that, but at the same time, that's technically a mistake from Zerg. But again, it's just funny more than everything else. But again, you have streaks, you're feeling okay, and I guess LG doesn't realize he has streaks, because if they plant this bomb on B, of course, Trinity Rockets are pretty good out in the open, and there you call. Those players are going to have to stack up in medbay, and they're going to be trapped at the very least. Just keep hovering, and you see Niall is able to get one. He gets traded out. Still, though, it's going to be that man advantage. They know exactly where the players are, and there you go. Saints is going to fall as well because he was trapped in medbay. And once again, the bomb's getting defused. Octane, they know exactly where he is. They're going to challenge out as well. Both are going to hit. Luckily for Zerg, the trade came in, but even if it didn't, the bomb gets defused. And that is now 2 separate rounds where someone for LG is alive and the bomb is just getting defused because one team is like, you know what? I feel like playing Search and Destroy today.
Infused are playing Search and Destroy to a T so far. Octane seems to be the last man standing for LG now. Many rounds in a row. A serious adaptation is required if they're to make an impact here.
And then granted, of course, it's a little bit critical. That round was won by streaks, but hey, keep track of how many points the other players have. I mean, it was very early in the game. You know when the player died. You know he goes on a 5 streak. You should be able to keep up with that and say, oh, he has a Trinity. Let's not go to the open bomb site. And again, these are obviously difficult things to keep up with in game, but the best Search and Destroy players in the world are able to do just that. Of course, now on the flip side of things, Infused on the attack. They're going to be once again, and again, able to get that bomb down for free. Still, though, 4v4. Octane actually going to make that a 4v3. He is still beaming. He's 8-5. He needs some teammate support.
Here comes the pinch. Classic going to be coming over the top. Doesn't manage to do any damage, but the timing in this could be very good. Octane's down range. You've got Classic now trying to get the entry kills. Ace is working out for them. Slacked has got 2 there. He got in close with the Erad, and Alex last man standing. They don't know where he is just yet. He finds 1. Alex shots up, but he is going to be ripped into pieces. And that is going to be a round for Luminosity, and better late than never. Slack going to be getting the defuse there, and there we go. It's going to be 4-2.
And full credit to Octane as well. He's the guy that was responsible to watch the bomb side. Of course, bomb gets planted and then just beams the kid that was trying to go into medbay. And it's unfortunate because these are kills that not many players in the world would be getting. It's a similar thing with Zerg, right? He would have had them a bombardment more than likely, if not for the fact that Octane is just jumping off the map, pre-firing into the A bomb site, and still just getting kills like that. So again, the talent is certainly there. And LG trying to fight their way back into this. And, of course, Octane's been sitting on camo. Frankly, he could just burn that this round to try and guarantee the round win because at this rate, he could earn it a second time.
Yeah, Octane seems to be first person in to get the blood, first person to die, or last person to die, excuse me. He's going 8-6 currently on the other side of the board. Zerg and Nolson 6-3, 6-4 respectively. Zerg now using that Scarab. He's going to try to make a poke here into the B-bomb site. Oh, man, if you can find those players there on the wall run. Octane weak, but not dead yet. This is now continuing the push. And it's both teams teetering now with a minute left on the clock. No one's gone down just yet. Slacked. Unable to get the bomb down. There it is, finally. Here comes Nolson, Niall, making their way up the steps. They've got to choose those corners wisely, and they don't. It's 2 kills already for Luminosity. There's the camo play. Beautiful timing over the top. Can he find the second? That was a very, very solid round from Luminosity to tie things, or not to tie things up, but to get to 4-3. Ooh, we have a game on our hands now. A chance it wasn't looking so hot for LG a second ago.
Not at all. And it's a good round by them as well. I don't know. the camo burn by Octane there is a little bit weird. I mean, you have bomb down. You have a pretty decent awareness of where the players are going to be. You know, at least one player, I'm pretty sure, was on that back tank, if they don't know them both. Of course, if any shots are fired. So he burns it with the man advantage. But, hey, again, it is better to secure the rounds, I guess, than use it in a bad situation. But at the very least, Infused can just take a breath and say, all right, well, he's burned that. Zerg's got his FDL. Nolson with his payload as well. And once again, they're just giving up that A plant for free. Looks like LG is going to be sending at least 2 players on the flank, and the other 2 players are going to be wrapping back. But Johnny on the spot, Zerg, he's been on point all game. He's going to get his 7th kill as well, and I'm pretty sure he spotted that second player on the flank. You see number 6 on your minimap, Nolson. Well, he went around back and helped Zerg out, and there you go, LG. They just get caught on the flank in a relatively predictable spot. Now Zerg mid-map. Nobody's even watching it, but they are gunning it. Classic and Slack making things interesting in this 2v2. Slack has FTL as well. Time, though, is ticking down. Nolson gets 1. Slack not going to want to burn it here. Thank God for Nolson saving that round for Infused.
Slack's got 10 seconds to do this one. He's likely going to jump clean off the map. He's not going to be able to do an Octane and do it so while getting a kill. And he's not far from streets, 125 away. Oh, he wants to kill so bad. Unable to get that one. If he'd managed to get a kill in that situation, that would have been extremely fortunate, but there we go. That's Infused on map point, looking to tie things up here in the series. Nobody wants to go home just yet.
I don't know, man. It's just difficult situations they're constantly finding themselves in. They send 2 players on the flank, 1 gets picked off, and then Saints just keeps going. I mean, obviously, it's one of those things, you give up first blood. It's going to be difficult no matter what happens, but LG is getting picked apart. But the 4-man rush is going to be there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple payloads get burned. Of course, Slack has that FTL, but it looks like the players are actually going to back out Infused. They're going to be kind of happy to give this one up, it looks like. Moving up towards B, though. A lot of pressure coming in from mid from Infused.
This is what LG want, though. They want to have this head-on engagement. They want to just gun skill their way throughout this entire fight, and it may be the way to do it. Slack, though, is quite in a bad position here on the flank. We've got Alex coming around any moment now, but we do have members of Luminosity and Caves. They're watching the flank. Slack team may be catching this player off guard, but it seems like, again, they've slowed it right down. Infused they don't want to play their hand here too heavily. Everything to play for. They're on map point. They can make this work. It's a great start for Nile. He takes care of Classic. Dodges the nades. He's got players in front of him as well. You can see shots overhead. So the gunfights are exchanged between Zerg and the members of LG from above. If he can get someone weak, Nile can maybe go out there and get the pick. Nolson gets slacked in the back end, so it's now 2v3. Oh, it's all going to come down to this. It's all on Octane once again. 2v1, and there we go. Infused taking map number 2. Not so favorable trades that time, Chance.
Yeah, and I mean, LG, it's not like they didn't know what to do, but it did seem to be a bit of a struggle, right? They kind of had the complete open plant, and there might have been a Centurion down for Infused. It was tough to tell on the minimap. It looked like something appeared, but LG might have gotten rid of it. Either way, though, the bomb site was completely open, and then instead of going for the plant, just because there was a small amount of pressure mid-map, they just go for the wrap, but then they didn't do a decent enough job at checking their corners. Nile just kind of pops out, gets an easy kill, and then more importantly, stays alive. And of course, full credit to Nile for that decision, right? A lot of times players, as soon as they get a kill, they expect that challenge to be coming in. So they freak out, panic, try and get some bullets in, and go for a desperate play. But he trusted his teammates. He stayed down, stayed alive, and his teammates covered over top and got that kind of comfortable round win. So again, LG, their S&D struggles kind of continue. Moving in, though, we got Frost uplink and retaliation, hardpoint, 2 respawns. LG might be feeling kind of crisp.
Yeah, Chance, this is the question I want to ask you. How's the uplink game for Luminosity? Again, Infused, they're kind of hit and miss right now. Their S&D is obviously great. Their uplink was actually very, very solid against FaZe. How do you see this one going down? I mean, Infused actually took the uplink off of FaZe, I believe. So where do you see this one going?
Well, I mean, LG, like historically, at least throughout this game, has been relatively dominant in uplink. Not the best team in the game in it, but definitely one of the, probably like top 4 along with your Spice, your Optic Gaming, even your E6. But again, definitely beatable. I think earlier Rise Nation beat LG like 22-9 or something absurd. So LG, they definitely have some certain weaknesses that Infused is going to be looking to exploit. Of course, though, the exploitation we will be able to see potentially after this commercial break.
What? They didn't give an MVP at Black Ops 2 champs, right?
No.
All right,
Or mine.
let's give an MVP.
There's never MVPs when I win.
Let's give MVPs to those events. Did you watch Black Ops 2 champs? You were like 10?
Yeah,
Mirror.
I watched that.
All right, who's MVP for you?
It was Damon or Haggy?
It was
100%.
I don't even remember. I just remember Mir had that nade and then kills someone's MSMC.
Mir was like the best bait I've ever had.
Mir was the best SMG player by a mile in the beginning of Black Ops 2. Me and Krim always would talk about it.
Who's the MVP for you?
Oh, Mir.
Mir. Okay, so you said Mir. You said.
I said Mir.
Delusional. My vote would go with Damon, but Haggy's like.
No, but Cap, remember we brought up those stats from Black Ops 2, and you saw Mir had the same amount of kills as Haggy, but like 40 more deaths. But Chris had like 80 less deaths than Mir.
I gave it to Damon. Like,
But,
Mir was clutch.
but they had the same. Chris and Damon had the same kills.
S&D, I had a 1.3 or something.
Nah, it was awful.
Nah,
The
you
rest of my
suck.
team had a 0.6. We were probably like the worst S&D team to ever win champs.
Ghost champs, stay away. Who's MVP for you?
All of them. I don't know. They just cooked everyone.
I don't even know.
I think Krim was slightly better than Pat over the course of teaming Ghosts.
That
But
event.
for that event, I don't know because they smoked everyone.
I didn't even watch the finals because after they won first map, I was like, it's over.
That was like the biggest blowout out of champs. I feel like.
Me and Krim had above a 1.3. Damon had like a 1.2, and Teep had a 1.1. That's like statistically the best stats from any forward team.
Who made the
player.
biggest plays though?
Whoever did the best.
Teep had
was
the best
Optic.
game 4 for us, but he only had a good game 4 side too.
What? Were you guys down in that series in that?
Yeah, we lost the Warhawk Blitz like 7-8, and we lost the S&D round 11.
Bows and Nade probably got 5 points just by running bottom Ginas and knifing me.
Yeah.
Because it made 0 sense.
It was
for
our
them to
worst
do
match
that.
set, yeah.
I don't know between Pat and Krim because I honestly didn't watch that
I
much.
gotta-
out
These
there.
chips are way too good.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are so good.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, welcome back. Here we go, straight into game number 3, Luminosity versus Infused.
Was that Australian?
That was French, man. The Australians, you're like, hi mate, how you going? And welcome back to the Call of Duty World League Championships 2017 presented by PlayStation 4. It'd be something like that. Either way, here we go. Luminosity versus Infused. They're tied up 1-1 in the series so far. Infused took the S&D. For those of you just joining us and wondering what in the blue blazes is going on, we're going in the uplink. And Luminosity really struggled there on the S&D, but things were looking pretty solid for them there on the hard point. But this is where things get spicy because Infused, they're here to play. And I don't think this is going to be an easy win for LG.
No, not at all. Again, LG has shown some struggles in the uplink. Again, early in the tournament rise, they beat them 22-9. I think that was on throwback. So it's certainly a feasible situation. Alex and Nolson as well, working in tandem with those ERADs, and the ERAD play is going to be pretty strong, of course. Not too shabby ERADs on either side of this game. But right now, it is going to be that drone kind of stuck in med bay. But there you go. LG, get the 3 down, get the break. Sainz leading the charge. He's just going to straight up jump over a player. But Alex there, he's able to get 1. He's going to get traded out. Still that drone down. LG trying to get some points on the board.
Wow, great trades. And the fact that Octane and Slack managed to stay alive for a while there. Oh, up over the top! Nope, just misses it. Still, not a bad attempt there from Luminosity. A little bit desperate. And there we go. Alex now is making his way round the outside in a bid to try to counter-attack here. And as you can see, the fights for mid are going down. It's looking very blue so far. Nile answers back. But again, by the time that we get the drone to mid-map, it's going to be a bit of a mess. Alex now waiting for a bit of space for his team. He may need to get that weapon out indeed, because the gunfights are going all the way of Luminosity. But what a flank from behind, Alex, the young man. What a spectacular show. Now he's going to move that drone forward. Can he find another? This is a great run if he can make it work. Nades out. He's going to buy himself as much space as he can. Wait for his team to come in through mid and help with the pinch. Still Fuse coming forward, not looking too bad so far, but Luminosity still answering back. 2 in a row, make it 3. Here we go.
Well, Nile inside a connector, has a player on his side. Going to get shut down as well, so a very small opening there is going to get that door closed in their face. Still, though, LG on the attack once again. They've been in this situation before, and they didn't get enough kills. This time, though, Octane leading the charge, very capable in his hands. Has the player behind him. Alex, though, again, when he gets 1, he gets 2. Classic, though, has an opportunity for the 1-point shot, and you see the interception can't come in because the player jumped a little bit too soon. So there you go, LG, first team to strike, taking that 1-0 lead.
Still 1-0. A lot of blood spilt for 1 point for both teams. Fuse now trying to get back into this one. Nile, unfortunately, getting a team kill there on Zerg. This is now a bit of a pressure applied from Luminosity, but the kills are all going the way of Infused. And Octane from behind, that is so annoying if you're an Infused player. They won the majority of the gunfights, the important ones, but they left Octane, and now he's coming from behind, and he's dealt enough damage to let his teammates get back on from respawn and win the battle for sub bay. And it is going to be a Luminosity flag planted there as they take control here, and this is another chance to move the drone forward. Can they capitalize more on this one? It's still happening. It's still moving forward. It's Infused throwing bodies at this. They may have just managed to save themselves. But my God, that was close enough.
Well, there you go. Nile leading the charge. Players in connector, though. Niles, though, he's out front. Going to get traded out. Zerg picks up one. Nolson, he's going to wrap the drone in connector, but he's got teammates pushing out the other side. And there you go. There's the follow-up. Resets the armor. As the clearance as well. Might go for the one-point toss. The interception comes in. Alex was still alive, but Slacked is there for the trade. And there you go. Slacked, he doesn't have many kills to his name, but he can still come up large when he's needed the most.
Oh, he's making it may be 4 kills, but they're super important kills nonetheless. Now Slack moving it forward. Here come Infused off of the respawn. The gunfights are going to be absolutely crucial. Nolson's perspective now, as Infused try to answer back, but he is left discombobulated in the middle, surrounded on all sides, and now he is dead, and Nile is going to follow suit. This has been a huge success for Luminosity. They're moving forward all on the wall run this way, and Slacked is getting the kills on the ground, and up in the air, it's going to be good, and that's going to be a second point with 1 minute left here in the first half.
Yeah, I think we talked about this a bit before over on Frost. When you go around that outside wall run, it gets intercepted 9 out of 10 times. When you got 2 players on LG leading that charge with their guns and they kill everything, well, that's going to be a 100% success rate. Either way, though, still a relatively small lead, but Infused, they're going to definitely want to get on the board here to at least tie things up going into the second half, or else LG might just be able to run away with this one. Zerg, though, in connector, gets shut down once again. The remaining players for Infused, well, they're not even aware of this flank coming in from Classic, and he's going to have a field day. 3 streak for him. That drone's getting moved up, and Classic, well, he might be there faster than Infused is ready for. Gunfight, though, Zerg shuts him down, and that might just save them for more points.
Clean movement from Slack as he rotates back and forth, choosing the best angle to find. And again, 5 seconds remaining. The chances of another point now are slim to none. But that is exactly what Infused want. They don't want any more points scored on the board in that first half, and as the whistle blows and the sides are going to swap. Luminosity not exactly happy with that one. You can see the heads being shaken there. Again, 2 points is 2 points, but they could have had a few more. Again, solid defense from the players on Infused. What an interesting kill cam. Like 3 players shooting at 1 man. No one was hitting a thing. How weird was that?
Well, I mean, you know, sometimes you just don't want to hit the shots, you know, you just want to make for a little bit of cinematic moments, if you will, just for the kill cams.
They look great.
Either way, though, moving on from cinematography, it's going to be Octane. He's 15-9, nearly the most kills in the game. It's actually going to be Alex, but again, Alex rocking that E-Rad. Decent job as well so far. Either way, the long gunfight, that is not when you want to take against Octane. Players in connector going to be forced to back up, and there you go. Drone moving forward, and it's actually going to be up the left side of the map because Slack's already there. Might go for the 1-point shot over top, or just try to let his teammates clean up all the work. Classic's able to pick up 2 out of nowhere, and he's just going to go for it because he trusts his teammate Octane, picks up the kills. And again, that's just something LG, they're one of the only teams that can make something like that work.
Huge. I really didn't think he was going to be able to make that second point, the second dunk there, but here we go. There may be another one on the cards chance, and it looks good. It's already 6-0. Infused have desperately got to stop the bleeding, start applying the pressure, not just to the wound, but to Luminosity, because this is looking like a blowout so far. The first half wasn't all that for either team, but now Luminosity have certainly come to play. This is going to be a mountain to climb for Infused. And they certainly can do it. Alex has got the drone in his hand. That was Classic taken down there finally, but the kills have been non-stop for everyone on Luminosity, bar Slack. And even then, he's the one running the drone. This could be an opportunity for Alex. He's made it all the way through. He is going to die, but that is going to fall out of his cold, dead hands straight into the uplink. 1 point for Infused.
Yeah, and that's huge as well for LG. It keeps that at a 3-possession game. That's a situation where, again, that time just continues to tick down. More importantly, Saints, manual passing is a little bit rough, but let's see how his 1-point shots are. Go over the top of the building. The interception, well, it would have came in, but Classic picked up the kill just in the nick of time, and LG getting the points on board again. And, well, that's what we saw last time. They're about to score. The kills come in when they need them the most. Now the overdrive coming in when he needs it the most, but Zerg, his bullet's still on point. Drone's still down an interesting spot, and more Zerg is going to be able to get all 3 in that drone out of dodge. Still, though, they got to get some more points on the board.
Yeah, it's very possible, though. 3 minutes and Infused now on the attack. Once they get on the offensive, we'll see how things go. They need to get those opening kills, and I think Zerg should be the man to do them. He's certainly firing well at this stage. His aim is on point, but the E-Rad in this situation, not great, especially with 3 members of LG gunning you at once. Now Nolson, he's got to take care of those 2 players. Somebody coming in for the pinch in the middle, and it looks just a little too late. It was Alex, and he's going to be caught in the end by Octane, who was sitting out on the wings there, waiting for the battle to be finished and picking off the scraps. And now we see that push from Infused completely eliminated. Octane is still going to be doing what he can to hold on to this position, maintain that pressure on the side of Infused. But the drone's gone forward. Is anybody in position to slow this down? Oh, it looks like Saints finally coming out to save the day. And here we go, back on the offense for the boys in blue. Luminosity still going strong, forward chance. I mean, look at the kills. The only person, again, not getting many kills is Slack, but he really doesn't need to.
I mean, yeah, he's been making big plays, getting some decent scores as well. Been the primary drone carrier for the team. Either way, though, Infused, they find themselves turtled up in their base once again. And even though they get the drone out of dodge and out of harm's way, again, there's a 6-point differential. It's a 3-possession game. Zerg, yes, he has FTL, but he doesn't even have the drone or his life. And still, under 2 minutes left, Infused, they're going to need to make a rally, and they got to do it fast.
Yeah, it's still a bit disconnected there. Zerg was all on his own. And although he had the drone, he didn't really have any way of making that play work without the help of his teammates. They're losing the battle on the ground with Luminosity, and if you're not winning the battle on the ground, you're hardly going to be able to win the battle on the wall run. Nolson now on the offensive again. Can Infused find something here? Dropped immediately, but 3 dead for Luminosity. This could be a window. It is not shut just yet. Nile is keeping the breeze flowing, and here we go. He's almost got his camo as well, but it's 1 minute 22. They need to get these points flowing and fast, and this is going to be a huge gunfight to win. Somebody needs to hit the flank, and that is a wonderful way to open this one if you Luminosity. The Scarab comes through, it's dealt the damage, and the players are going to be flying through, taking care of all those players on Infused who have already dealt damage. But here we go, 1 point through. Is it enough chance? Probably not.
Yeah, most likely not. Again, that's a situation where they get all 4 down, and then they're just a little bit too slow. And yes, the smart thing to do is to get that second wave of kills, but not when there's not enough time. They're going to have to start forcing things, which of course makes it even more difficult to do. It's going to be sloppy if they can pull it off, but they don't have an option because Nile, well, he's the only one alive mid-map. You expect LG, they're going to be able to trade this kill, and well, that's not actually going to be the case for the moment. Saints finally takes him down, but you're exactly right. 35 seconds left, 5-point game, 3 down in LG's favor. They're looking like they're cruising through game number 3.
Yeah, we've still got 2 payloads to go for Luminosity, and that's the active camo pop for Classic, and he's going to be able to do whatever the hell he wants now. He does get the camo kill, and then it wasn't really needed, but that's 20 seconds to go, and Luminosity have answered back after what was a very comfortable win for Infused in the search and destroy. And here we go into a game number 4 as the final 12 seconds roll out of the clock. It is impossible for Infused to win this round. And we are going to be heading into the next one. Luminosity now leading the series 2-1 here in the losers bracket. Chance, this is another pivotal moment for a European team. Now put on match point. LG only need to win 1 more to send them packing.
And I don't know, man. It's obviously a pretty difficult spot, honestly, for both of these teams, right? Like, obviously, if you're LG, you're like, yo, hardpoint, bread and butter, let's go. But the fear is, if you can't finish that game mode, game number 5, it's going to be search and destroy. And again, they are not comfortable on that at all, at least not at Champ's time. And Infused, obviously, they're going to have to fight tooth and nail, but we know they're capable, right? Of course, on that first hardpoint, it looked like there was an opportunity there. But on that Barn Hill, they saved the payloads. And then, of course, Saints use his. And then out of nowhere, he goes on like an 8 streak, and then he earns streaks, and then Octane turned up as well. So, again, LG, it's just you give them an inch, they'll take a mile sort of thing. So if they have an opportunity like that, and again, the hard point, where they take that lead, they just have to keep going. Like, you can't slow down for a single second. But, again, if they can get in that situation once, they could possibly do it again. So it's not hopeless, but it's close.
This is a very important time for players in Champs, as you said. You know, it's not hopeless. But now you've got one final shot at redemption, at keeping your tournament dreams alive, at keeping the COD Champs dream a reality. And we've put the back against the wall of Infused. They've got to pull something out here. This hard point, everything rests on it. As you can see so far, back and forth between these two teams. Now my little OCD brain, my pattern recognizing brain is going off the charts right now, and it goes, it should be a red one next, right brain? But my heart says maybe not. Luminosity, renowned for their hardpoint gameplay. Chance, what's going on?
The problem is, again, it's just LG more than likely too strong. Now, the bright side for Infused on a map like this, if you can just make, you know, a single big play, if any one player goes off, picks up a 2-3 piece at the right time, if you do it on the Graveyard Hill, well, there you go. You could just buy yourself 30 seconds if you're able to do so successfully and put you in a good spot to get even more time. So it's not like a map like Scorch or Throwback where LG can just keep throwing bodies at the hill and force as many gunfights as possible and get those easy wins. You do have the opportunity to really go for the attempt to outplay your opponent. So again, it's a feasible situation, but again, incredibly difficult. LG, they are not going to slack off for a moment. I think, you know, speaking of slack, I know he had a slow game on Frost, but even when he has a slow game, they win by what? Was it 5 points and a relatively comfortable game for him?
Well, it's a team effort, and certainly Luminosity are a team to behold. Slacked has had a very big impact on the uplink world. We saw a spectacular highlight from his gameplay. I believe it was yesterday in FTL play, soaring into the air above throwback, catching it, passing to himself, and then landing a 1-point throw from mighty high up in the sky, and it was very exciting to see. As you know, spectacular teams, spectacular plays. That's what COD Champs is all about. And here we go into this next one. Do or die. You can see it on the faces of the players from Infused. They know this means everything. This is their tournament life. And it's all going to come down on retaliation. If they can win this, they can force it to a game 5, and they would certainly like that. And Luminosity, that would not be the ideal scenario for them, but here we go. Out of the gates, how's this first gambit going to go? And will it tell a story for the rest of the map? No. And it may well indeed. Octane with 3, 2 with an aid, and 1 on Nolson. Make it the whole squad. If that isn't a bad omen for Infused fans, I don't know what is.
Oh, well, let's try to do some mental math real quick. Hard point, the games generally last anywhere from about, 10 to 12 minutes, depending. Octane right there is 4 kills in a matter of, 10 seconds? So he's on pace probably to get about 1,000 kills. Give or take just a little bit. Of course, the respawn delay might slow him down just a tad, but no, all jokes aside, of course, Nolson, he's going to strike right back with the MV4 as well. He's able to pick up 3, and that, honestly, to me, is very important for Infused to be able to pull off, because that was literally the worst start they could possibly have.
Yeah, really, we're waxing lyrical here, but man, that's some scary stuff. Still Slacked and Saints answering back with 3 of their own. 8 seconds remaining here on Bridge, and it's been very tight between both teams. And boy, if this is going to be the hard point where you go absolutely ham Infused, they need to do it here. Luminosity, they've got the keys to the castle, and this is going to be it. Slack now getting ready for the next hard point. Low Street's just flipped. He's going to be getting those points. He doesn't have a whole lot of help, though. He's got 1 player up on Plat, but he's about to run into a little bit of trouble. Can Classic win the fight there? He gets Nolson from behind, though. Still doing a good job of staying alive. Now, Infused need to find this player in the hard points. Classic's doing a great job there, and Octane as well in the back end. Slack just sitting pretty here. No one's contesting him. No one's been able to go through, and this Scarab is going to come out without a single problem. This setup from LG has been absolutely unstoppable so far.
I mean, yeah, that perspective is hilarious. Slack's been laying down for the longest time, and we're literally just watching his teammates around Plat just kind of running back and forth, killing everything. And eventually Slack was just bored, so he's like, all right, I guess I'll just call him the Scarab. Either way, though, Infused is able to eventually break through. And, of course, they are sitting on Graveyard side as well. So LG, a bit of a tough task ahead. Of course, they want to try and fight for this scrap as well. 7 seconds left, and that player is going to cut out. Octane picks up the kill, but now the question is, how do they approach the break? Of course, you see 2 players right now, 4 Infused, stacked up in market, and it looks like Luminosity is going to be sending 3 players on the attack. Again, someone can go big right here, but Nolson's not going to be that guy. Now Alex has a couple players to deal with. He's not even going to be able to get 1. Octane shuts him down, and well, that's going to be the collapse, and that is obviously, again, worst case scenario for Infused unless Zerg can go big, and that is not the case, and that is a very easy, clean, proficient break coming out of LG. The question is, can they hold? And most certainly you assume that they can. Of course, though, the contest is coming in, but it's only going to last for just a moment. Nile picks up 2. Buddy's going to fall. Zerg, he can go big inside the hill. There is potential here, but again, just LG, it just seems too strong. Any one of these 4 players is capable of just going off at any moment.
And they are indeed. Octane being the primary one at the moment, 10 and 5 for him. Most of this is down to the fact that Infused just can't seem to win a 1v1 engagement. It's as if the COD gods are stacked against them right now. They want Luminosity to advance. They want to move on forward. It's just not Infused time right now. 1 by 1, the gunfights are falling. And here we go, Alex and Infused now. They've got the next set of spawns. Can they hold on? Destroyed building is going to be the next hard point. This is going to be a big hold for them. And over the top, the perfect timing, the tandem of Classic and Saints there doing amazing work. This is Slack now watching the flank as well, catching those players from Infused as they press forward. Their sides exposed, and that's it, man. They're going to be taking those shots from all angles, and this is, again, Luminosity. They've really come into their own now, over the 100-point mark. Infused yet to get a point on the board for now. 2 hard points. This is looking very dire for the Europeans.
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely just being executed to perfection so far by LG, of course. With that hill contested, well, the pressure's more so on Infused, and you see, well, the FTL is going to get burned. Alex inside the hill, well, he's able to pick up 2, but that is not going to be enough. And again, just executed to perfection. The hill was contested. LG used the FTL, pick up the kills. The player in the back did a good job staying alive. Pretty much everything that could go right for them did go right. Slacked, of course, on the 4 streak as well. With a minute and 16 inside the hill, you can't ask for much more in LG, nearly at that 100-point lead.
LG, well, they just seem to be on all cylinders now. It's particularly slacked, 10-3 on a 4 streak. Infused, they just cannot get anything going. Every push has been thwarted by perfect teamwork, perfect timing from Luminosity. They're one of the world's best for a reason, and it's showing here. Nolson now absolutely out of ammo, down to his fist, and if that is not a metaphor for what this match already is, I don't know what will be. Can he find anything here? I mean, this would be great if he can get a weapon, finds a couple of rounds for his MP4, goes for the reload, but he's going to be crushed immediately. A little bit of time and goes the whole way. It's a bit scrappy. You can find those little scraps, those pieces, those morsels of points, and put them together and hopefully make a mountain out of it. But again, when Octane is firing that hot, finally brought down. It's still a little tough still.
Yeah, you see Octane right there. He was jumping in the hill to get that plus 100, working towards the streaks, but a little bit too over-aggressive, and he is going to get cut down. But honestly, not a problem to be over-aggressive at all, because even though Alex picks up 2, there's only 3 seconds left on the hill, and that's time that's going to absolutely no one. Now we're back on bridge, and you see Octane. He's like 90 feet in the air picking up kills. And at the very least, it's just going to be contest heavy, but Infused, they're going to have a miraculous set of second rotations to find themselves back in this game.
Alex back on spawn now. Those rotations already paying off somewhat. They managed to get the early rotation of bridge, but the fight was very long and hard fought. Many Infused bodies sitting on top of the bridge at this stage, and again, Luminosity have finally got a bit of contest happening. This is Slacked watching the flank. Nolson doesn't find the best of him there. Peeks out from the bushes. Zerga's going to get a few out of this one, but immediately cut down. Classic now pushing along the wall run. I don't think it's going to last much longer here. And as we go on to this, Luminosity and Infused trading back and forth, but the most important position is here, the top of the hill. There, Octane getting those points, 176 and climbing now. Infused, 47. They've not been able to break the 50 mark. This has been a horrendous last few hard points for them. Luminosity just far too strong. 19-9 for Octane. My God.
I mean, this is what Allegiance looked like on their final map before they got eliminated from the tournament against the United. They had a decent enough series, and then that 4th map, they just got completely destroyed. Of course, Infused right there, signs of life. That's what you can appreciate. They've already gotten more points than Allegiance did back on Breakout, but still, you're down by 127 right now against LG. And again, we even saw it was when Infused, they got the full setups on Money Hills, on Graveyard, and LG, it's just they walk straight through and break the hills with ease. Every single player right now, Classic, excuse me, well, he's only even, but still, it's about a 20 kill advantage for LG. They're able to break through the hill, and they're just cruising right along.
Yeah, but Lower Street was particularly a very profitable hill for Luminosity in the first set of rotations. So again, looking to see if they can do the same thing. However, Infused now in control. This is finally a little bit of legway gained by them. They are losing those individual gunfights. Octane managing to sneak through somehow. Saints also finding a hole in the Infused defensive and punching his way through that very, very profoundly. And then we are still making these plays happen. Nolson desperately hanging on. But here comes LG over the top. Octane just unkillable at this moment. They cannot finish him, and because of that, over the top, Classic's going to find the kills. And there we go, Nile as well, traded out. So once again, Luminosity coming forward incredibly strong.
And then LG gets the split spawn as well. Saints actually spawned up over by Bridge, and because of the spawn he gets, Infused, who died after, end up spawning even farther out away from their sole teammate in the hill. And again, that's the situation of everything that could go wrong for Infused pretty much did go wrong. Like, just even the kill order ended up costing them extra seconds in the hard point, and now they got to break through. LG can win on this hill, and Classic seems intent on making that, so he's able to pick up 3. Alex, he's waiting for his teammates, but even he can't wait for too long, because again, 15 seconds in this game is over. He makes his move. Saints, though, is pre-aiming. Slacked is getting kills as well. Nile coming in from the back, but Saints in the hill. He's been here before. He'll be here again, because it's looking like LG will fight another day.
And again, it's not just a win for LG. This will be the end of Infused's career here at the COD Champs 2017.
Well,
it's all over. Well, their run on Infinite Warfare, at least. Classic, camo out. They need to pull out something miraculous here at 247 and climbing. This is going to be the end of it, and that is going to be all she wrote for Infused. Their tournament ends here. That was a lower bracket. That was a 3-1. Commiserations to them, but this is how their game ends. They came a long way, taken down some fantastic teams along the journey. It's been a storied run, but it does come to an end here. However, for Luminosity, things are just beginning.
Yeah, stoicism all the way around, though. LG, they're obviously not happy in general just because of the situation that they have found themselves in. And then, of course, Infused can only sit back and think about their tournament that they had. Again, I think similar boat that they, Allegiance was in, where an impressive tournament overall, but that is not going to help the sting of that loss at all. And well, there's a main reason right there. You're going to have to beat Luminosity at some point in a respawn, and the great opportunity was on map number 1, but in the end, it was baseball. Well, that Infused did okay at, but again, it was the payload situation, I think, that LG just did a little bit better with. Yeah,
indeed. The payloads well used, well utilized, and you can make the most of them. You can make or break a game. Not too far apart in, in most of the other hard points. Well, I mean, apart from Bike Path is a little bit raw. Infused, though, doing what they could. 198 to 250 was going to be that first map. And things only got better from there for the boys in Infused as we look at the S&D. Well, possibly a Pyrrhic victory because, again, in the end, it was a whole lot of hard work